and people look back in history, they'll be like, in 2025, there was a big Sig Heil type thing that was like trending. It's like, yeah, some dude wrote a song about it, and then everyone got silly. We don't need to have another world war going on. So it's interesting, and there is much more to learn. But before we learn much more, let's go to the next clip so we don't have to take all night to do this.
Speaking of the Jews, have you seen fucking Kanye's new song?
Bro. What is...
What?
Here's the thing.
What?
My
First of all, kind of catchy.
Well, that's the problem with it. That's the problem. It's
Yeah.
like the guy from production, like he's never lost a step. He can make a beat. He can, like, he's so talented.
He's a genius.
He's a talented producer, man. I do think it's like, when first of all, I think people are kind of done asking him questions because most of the shit he puts out is like self-released kind of commentary or thoughts. Because he's saying just fucking crazy, you know.
This is the craziest thing I've ever seen.
But there is a thing where that song is like, what are you doing, dude? Like, for what are you doing for real?
It's the ultimate pushing back.
Yeah, I guess. But there is like I think I have a pretty, you know, let things go kind of vibe to me. Right?
Obviously.
Yeah,
your fucking
right? Like,
show.
Yeah, like, I
your
don't,
show's ridiculous.
It's a ridiculous show. And I've always been like, yeah, say whatever you're going to say. But I do think like making a catchy song about that, I'm like, what are you doing, man? Like you're just getting, at a minimum, you're just going to get more people that think it's cool to say Heil Hitler. Like that's at the minimum.
Well, I think that's part of the program. I think it's part of what he's trying to do.
But I mean, is that cool to do? I guess if you're like, well, it's fun to troll the masses and get them to do that. Okay. But what I'm saying is that like at a minimum, you're going to get less educated people to go like, this is a fun thing to say. And you're like, I mean, is that good? You really want people just walking around being like, you know, it's tight, man. Heil Hitler. Like, that's fucking insane. It's crazy.
Babylon B. Being funny. I did not see that coming.
That was good.
Too soon? Yeah, so there's nothing funny about it. But I have said when everything's a Nazi, nothing's a Nazi. Like if you overuse the word, you're going to lose the meaning for the word. You're going to use the, like, you know, right now, if you did a trend, what's trending, and people look back in history, they'll be like, in 2025, there was a big Sig Heil type thing that was like trending. It's like, yeah, some dude wrote a song about it, and then everyone got silly. We don't need to have another world war going on, which is, I don't know what you expect from that type of provocative type of activity. But I think Rogan was like listing the type of consequences that are up next. They're like, bro, they already, like, what's the thing? First they slander you in the news, and then something else, and then you're dead. Like there's only like 3 hoops to jump through there. If you don't take the first or the second, then they have like the 86, as they say.
Well, first of all, Joe was talking to Tom Segura there, and Tom Segura should have his bank accounts taken for some of his comedy. That's what I say. Like if that's fair, Tom Segura would be the one that gets his bank account removed. Like seriously,
well, I think his ticket sales probably tied.
I don't even want to repeat him here. They're like, just like, get out of here, Tom. Nobody likes you, dude. So, but I'm talking like legitimately.
Tom's in it for that middle of the road dollar, dude.
Well, his jokes are so bad. Like this one in particular, I'm like, dude, what the hell? And like, you should be the one getting your bank account taken. And so that proves the point even further. It's like, why are like some of the things that he says not worthy of that? If we live in a world where that happens, yet, you know, it's like Kanye doing that, obviously. So it proves Ye's point even further. Like there's one joke in particular about, I don't even want to repeat it on the show, but one joke in particular, Tom Segura is like, okay, you should lose everything because of that joke.
What if the people who are the real Nazis are persecuting Ye? Yeah. That's a question, because where did he lose his contract? When he spoke out, what contract did he lose? Adidas, which comes from Adi Dassel and his brother, who were Nazis. So the Nazis, no one comments on Puma and Adidas being Nazi brands, or Mercedes or BMW or Bosch or any of these other companies that are still out there and people doing business. Oh, anyone rode in a ThyssenKrupp fucking elevator lately? Like they made fucking war machines back in the day. And I'm not so sure that they didn't internationalize before the world ended so that they could continue running the world from outside of Germany. Because there's a history to that. In fact, you might want to read America's Nazi Secret by John Loftus. That's a good book. It's a reprint of the 1982 Belarus secret, but no one understands Belarus. So you use the word Nazis, people buy it because it's about Nazis and the people who funded the Nazis, which were the Eastern establishment families that are working with Great Britain to get America back into the empire. World War II was a big part of how we got really, really close with our former enemy, Great Britain. It's where the special relationship started and the deep state insertion into this country started beyond Council on Foreign Relations, right? That's where they really got roots in this country. World War II. World War I got us started with them. World War II capped the deal. And before you know it, East India Company turns into Kissinger Associates and narco terrorism all the way up through James Comey. So there's a lot more to be learned on that. But we got to move on because that little Jimmy O'Keefe, he's been out there doing more work. He's got some videos. And when I first started watching the first video where he's like, we got footage of Epstein's kitchen. I was like, big fucking deal, dude. But then I got to the end of the video and I was like, that's a big fucking deal, dude. That is not accidental. And then he starts lining up in the second video a little bit more of unaccidental type evidence. And keep in mind, this guy had Bill Clinton in Monica Lewinsky's dress in a painting in his foyer in New York. That's the opening to like, who is this guy we're going to say? Oh shit, he's got a president on the wall like that? Gee, he must have blackmail on him. That's what that says. Who was Monica Lewinsky? Was she somebody's agent to go in there and do exactly what she did? Right? I don't know. Does she have right of return? There might be some espionage going on that has yet to be uncovered. But we're not going to be interested in that because she's out there doing interviews on podcasts now.
That's funny. Just saying, hey, do they have the right to return?
Well, especially after you have a dress with a stain like that. Can you just return it? It still has the tags on it. Some RFID tags.
Twice a year, I teach a course called Autonomy. It's a 12-week course. It teaches leadership, entrepreneur skills, executive skills, all these types of things that I saw were taken out of our education system in order to make the schooling or indoctrination system that we've all probably went through. And it has served us well enough to be interchangeable cogs in the machine of the globalists. But if we want a homestead, if we want write our own ticket, work from home job, work from anywhere type of situation, they're not exactly handing those out at the end of college. They give you a piece of paper and they're like, good luck. So reality is dropping us off here, but the demands of reality are up here. So I created Autonomy to help people close that gap for themselves so they can level up their skills to the demands of the situations that life is putting in front of us presently. Life's demands of intellect and understanding precision and complexity are ever increasing. The schooling didn't prepare us for it. The media is not going to do anything but reinforce what schooling prepared us for. And so we're going to have to take a leadership position and take steps off the beaten path to kind of blaze our own trail in life. What makes the Grand Theft World podcast unique, invigorating, exciting, and informative? Most other podcasts out there are either doing straight up interviews or they're just covering the daily news. They're covering current events from the day they happened. And that is effective. It's useful. It's a great starting point. And then sometimes these current events change during the week past the first story. So we like to give it a little time. You have to wait till some of the dust settles on these stories in order to give them accurate coverage. And the other thing that's really missing in the media landscape is covering the articles that are coming out every day. That's great. That's necessary. But who's bringing in contextual history so that you can understand what has been going on for decades and decades to lead up to the machinations and actions that we see unfolding today? So what we do here on the podcast is we cover current events. Many of these things are censored, but we wait about a week. As a forensic historian, I focused mainly through my career on the history of globalism and collectivism and things that they call maybe the New World Order. There's a lot of facts to these sort of circumstances, groups, events, activities, working groups that they've had over time. So for Grand Theft World listeners, we not only break down the current events, most of which that are censored during the week, we provide you with contextual history, we give you the source notes, the references, we do deep dives, and this really empowers you with an understanding of context and history so that you can make more informed decisions in your life. There's also a community, a membership where you guys can actually ask questions and we can get into the show and we can share evidence. And there's a town hall weekly for Grand Theft World for those who listen to it and are interested in covering the stories that we don't get to during a 6-hour show. Listening to it an hour a day, you could easily consume the week's news, but you're going to have substance and meaning and context and understanding. And with that, you can make higher quality decisions in your life. So if you're interested in more quality in your life, go to grandtheftworld.com, click podcast at the top, and we'll see you there. Thank you.
These allegations are false.
This isn't Grand Theft Auto, folks. This isn't a video game.
What are the most surprising things that you discovered once you started pulling on that thread? Who he was connected to, what institutions he was influential over, what events he participated in?
Come on, man. What are we talking about? Come on, man. No.
You don't have to think about it, dude.
I got this quote because you said you didn't know much about Klaus Schwab. I made it my job to, as soon as this happened, I'm like, okay, this guy's their front man. Let me learn about the official history of the World Economic Forum. I got their 40-year history. I got every book that Klaus Schwab has written or ghostwritten. I went through those books. This is one of the most interesting passages.
Come on, man. Come